Broads Media.
Yo, they fucking killed him. Jalen is a stud. I am surprised that Saquon Barkley got stopped. I didn't think it was possible. But yo, if you force Jalen to beat you, he ran all over you. He threw the ball beautifully to Devontae Smith in the end zone, beautifully to A.J. Brown. I even had to deal with, on 4th and 2 early in the game, the refs. The most embarrassing, pathetic call, an offensive pass interference on A.J. Brown. We even had to deal with that. Yet this game, the Eagles did exactly what I expected them to do. They dominated in the trenches. The Chiefs couldn't even get past the 50 until how many minutes left in the third? They couldn't even get to our side of the field. And it wasn't like Vic Fangio was bringing the house nonstop. They were just kicking ass. Ojomo, Jalix Hunt, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, everybody. And then Coop gets a pick six and takes it to the house. And you got Zach Bond right in front of the end zone with the fucking fantastic interception. Stop playing with him. I tried to tell you that this offensive line and this defense, no joke. You never saw a defense like this, ever! The only reason why you got some lazy-ass points at the end is because Tristan McCollum is out there with Sidney Brown. Take those points, shove it right up your asshole, shove it right up. This was beautiful. Jalen MVP. Some of those monster runs with his legs, second half. I love this, right? Chiefs get the ball first. They're down 1 billion points. Second half starts. They can't do diddly dick. They give the ball back to the Birds. Here's the Birds milking half the quarter off the clock. And Jalen picks up all these awesome first downs by using his legs. Chunk yards after chunk yards. 70-plus yards on the ground. Again, by the way, he did that too. The last time these two teams met, he did that as well. Duplicated it. Kid's a stud. Kid's a star. This whole team, they were not going to be denied. They were hungrier. They were more determined. And Pat Mahomes looked like a child. Did he not? His facial expressions. Then they shot the view on the broadcast of the bench. Oh my God, did they look like a bunch of losers? Did they look like a bunch of men that knew they were defeated? They could not handle the toughness. They could not handle the physicality. They were getting mollywopped. They were getting manhandled. They were getting obliterated. They were getting thrown into the fucking ground every play, and their ass kicked. They got their asses kicked. Every single one of those men in the trenches for the Eagles on the defensive side, they were everywhere. And then Pat Mahomes gets fucked up when he's trying to launch one downfield. His arm's getting snapped back. He's getting hit in the face. He's getting popped to the ground. The ball's hitting the carpet. You got 6 Eagles jumping on it. That was the best Super Bowl in Super Bowl history. That was the best Super Bowl my eyes have ever seen. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I can't wait to watch it 6 times tonight. I'm getting no sleep. That was such a great, fantastic football game. It was so controlled. It was so one-sided. Wow. What was my favorite part? Was it Devontae's touchdown? I don't know. That Coop pick 6. That was probably the moment where I thought I was going to die. where I thought my body was going to collapse because I was screaming and jumping so much that I was going to faint. So it was probably that play. But they go up to 30-something. I knew the Eagles were the better team. Did I expect it to be that one-sided? Not necessarily. But I knew we'd be in control. I knew we would be the better team. I knew we would be the more physical team. I knew we'd be the more determined team. I knew we'd be the more prepared team. I just thought maybe the Chiefs had a little bit more balls than they do. They didn't. Man, they could not take a shot. Right? This was a heavyweight match, and they got hit with the right hook early, and they just lost control. They just absolutely crumbled by it and never expected it, I guess. They didn't expect to get hit. They got caught. They got caught early, too. Made zero adjustments. They didn't even have to send blitzes. They were just getting home, and Pat Mahomes was running for his dear life every single time they snapped the ball. Well, I'm watching Jalen in the pocket, looking around. Mekhi Becton leaves for a second. Tyler Steen enters for a little bit. That's what it's all about. They put up 40. Yo, Kenny Pickett played. Kenny Pickett! He's out there taking snaps. Excuse me. BG, thank you. I love you. Jahan Dotson, thank you. I love you. How about Jahan Dotson? I thought he had the first touchdown of the game. My man goes down at the 1, and here we go. The best play in football history that's unstoppable. Only when we do it, though. Here's the Buffalo Bills. I don't know. Here's Jalen saying, I know. I'm punching it in for 6. Stop playing with him. Winner. Nick Sirianni, I've said my things about you through the first 4 weeks of this season, even after last year's collapse. Yo, I've seen what your strengths are. I admire your strengths. I love your strengths. And I've become a believer. But I just want to say I apologize for the things I said earlier. They were harsh. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm very, very happy for you. And I'm ready to go to war again with my coach. I'm ready to go to war again with my quarterback. And think about it. Devontae's paid. AJ's paid. Your offensive lineman, Mailata, Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, they're not going anywhere. Lane Johnson said he's got time left. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis just getting started. Same with Nolan Smith. Jalix Hunt, Mr. I'm picking up the phone on draft day saying, what's up, Big Pimpin', to Howie Roseman. He's out there in the Super Bowl. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean just getting started. These guys are just sniffing the beginning of their careers. A decent amount of them. We're not going anywhere. Saquon Barkley left the New York Giants for this reason. He didn't have the biggest Super Bowl, and I am stunned. Not many teams have been able to suffocate our run game. I didn't think the Chiefs had it in them. The thing is, though, when you sell out, there are vulnerable options all across the board. And the funny part is, there were a lot of doubt that Jalen had it in him to take advantage of those. Idiots! Morons! Dopes! Jalen was balling again. He's played in 2 Super Bowls. He's been insane in both. Not just good, not just good enough, insane in both. The 1 interception, look, there was pressure in his face. It looked a little weird at the line of scrimmage there. Tried to force something. The pick ended up happening right around, the 2 or 3 yard line there in front of the end zone. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And it was his first interception since November 10th. Or something along those lines. So it's been a while since he's made a mistake like that. Other than that, there was that one miscommunication between him and A.J. Brown. It looked like Jalen thought it was going to be a different route. A.J. Brown started to continue to run towards the end zone, and then they showed Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown getting into it a little bit with some fire on the sideline. So somebody had some miscommunication there. Other than that, though, it was as perfect as you could imagine. Jalen just understands big moments. Jalen just understands the shining lights. Not everybody does. There's a lot of quarterbacks that actually crumble, that fold, that flop. We got a quarterback that wins. And whatever is needed, whatever is necessary on that day, he just doesn't give a fuck. And some quarterbacks do. Some quarterbacks need to be the hero. Some quarterbacks need to thread the needle. Some quarterbacks need to force things because they want to be the one with the headline. Doesn't matter. Saquon's going to go take it for 30 carries, 170. Go. I'm only going to throw it 16. Don't give a damn. We win? Okay. Sign me up. Sign me up, coach. Oh, what's that? We're going to be more of a threat with my legs? By the way, something that just isn't really talked about enough. Jalen is actually ridiculous running the football. Like ridiculous running the football. Part of the reasons why we've had success even before Saquon Barkley with Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift, and they have these all years and all career type year, whatever that means. You know what I mean? They're just stellar seasons. Sure, great run blocking in front of them and Jeff Stoutland University and all that good stuff. You have to focus on number one. You have to focus on Jalen Hurts when he has the rock and they're running these option plays, and he may keep it. He may not keep it. It's a threat every time. Just his presence and having to be aware of if he's going to take off or not. This dude, not even if it was a planned run at the time of the snap, a designed run, a design, hey, go follow the right side and follow Lane Johnson, fall over the first down marker. Hey, even if it's not one of those and he's buying in time and there's good coverage, but he can slip and find a way to pick up 15 yards and slide. He was doing it all on top of dots. That throw to A.J. Brown that was called OPI, first off, such an embarrassing call by the referees. You couldn't even be more embarrassing if you tried to be embarrassing. That's how embarrassing that call was. Once I saw that get executed, though, I'm like, yeah, we're good. It's going to be like that. We're good. As long as the refs don't get in the way. And from there, the Chiefs just fell apart emotionally. Hitting Saquon Barkley 15 seconds late. I mean, stupid after stupid after stupid after stupid. They didn't have any mental toughness. I think they were pretty aware throughout the game that we don't have what it takes to match the intensity on the other side. And I tried explaining to you that that is how it was going to be, because there's no way to actually match the intensity of a team that had suffering, to a team that had pain, to a team that knows what losing feels like. It's been so long for the Chiefs. I know you want to chase history, and that's all cute and dandy, and I know it's hard to win 3 straight, but there's something to be said about falling short, hearing all sorts of criticism for 2 years, finally getting back, seeing the demon on the other side. You can't just assume that you can walk out there on the field looking for your 3rd straight championship and you're matching that fight and you're matching that fire on the other side. It also helps that Jonathan Gannon, the biggest loser in coordinator history, isn't on the other side either. Yo, Miami fans tried saying that Vic Fangio's a big problem and the Dolphins were failing miserably with their defense because Vic Fangio doesn't know what he's doing. I think he actually has cats that want to compete. I think he actually has dogs that want to perform. I think he actually has people that know what winning is all about, and he's in a winning organization while Miami is just filled with losers. This guy came in here and turned the whole thing around. It was Matt Patricia and Sean Desai. Now I'm watching Josh Sweat go with this biggest celebration across the helmet. What, 2.5 times, 3 times? Dude's going to get a payday. I'll worry about that stuff later. But I don't even know if I mentioned Josh Sweat's name yet. I apologize. The dude was a force. He was in the runner-up for MVP for me outside of Jalen. It's very difficult to give it to a defensive player like the Von Millers of the world, but he was right up there, Probably needed a little bit more to edge out what Jalen was doing, but Josh Sweat was a monster. It's been a while, too, since I feel Josh Sweat had that type of impact, but my favorite sequence of the game was literally with the Josh Sweat, Jalix Hunt, Cooper DeJean pick 6, bang, bang, bang. It just wasn't stopping. The wave that was coming in the face of Kansas City, they just had no way of stopping it. And Pat Mahomes is flustered. Andy Reid had no answers. Spags is spitting on the sidelines, freaking out with his play sheet, screaming F-bombs at his players. When that's the case, you see the team falling apart on the other sidelines. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. There's nothing better. The only thing that's potentially up there is my friends at DraftKings. What we just witnessed is, it ain't the little itty bitty teeny tiny bowl. That was Super Bowl 59. And the best way to continue betting on all the action, the NFL is now over, but there's plenty. NBA, NHL, you got college basketball. It's all on DraftKings Sportsbook. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BRODES. That's code BRODES for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. I can't imagine what it's like for New York Giants fans right now. I can't imagine what it's like for their owner, right? Everybody's already replaying the Hard Knocks clip of him saying if he goes to Philly, I'm going to lose sleep at night. Not only is he going to lose sleep at night, thinking about him wearing a beautiful Kelly green, a midnight green, a black, a white, you name it, whatever jersey they're rocking on that Sunday, this dude's got a Lombardi. This dude's setting records for all-time seasons between regular season and Super Bowl. Hey, anybody pissed you didn't play Week 18? Told you it doesn't matter. Nobody should give a damn. Nobody should give one fuck about a Week 18 nonsense 100 yards. It's all about the finish. It's all about having him in the best shape humanly possible for a stretch run. And I watched them kick Green Bay in the balls. I watched them kick the Rams in the snow in the balls. I watched them smoke, put up 50 plus on Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the next big thing. He's the next best poised quarterback who's so unbeatable. Shove it up your ass. And then I watched them take down yet another dynasty. See, what's so special about this group, and I would say this era of Eagles football, yes, they are known as the dynasty killers, but there's actually a next step to this. So not only did you beat Tom Brady, not only did you beat Bill Belichick, not only did you have a phenomenal 2017 Super Bowl run, but you ended a potential three-peat history. Taylor Swift. Anybody see Taylor Swift, by the way? I saw her for 1 second. When the Chiefs were down $30 billion, and they were like, "Oh, here's Taylor Swift." She had a dumb look on her face. What am I watching? Why am I supposed to work for the Eagles? Come on. Either you were growing up a Birds fan or not. Get the hell out of here, Taylor. Barely showed her. It's what happens when you get your ass kicked. My point is, though, dynasty killers to the dynasty. This is the dynasty. for Eagles football that's ready to open up. It's hard to get there. I'm aware. It's hard to get there when you lose. And look how quickly they got back and then won it. It's difficult just to get back after you fall because of the heartbreak. They got back and did business. And they made a damn statement. We're not going anywhere. That kid who had a pick 6 against Pat Mahomes, this is his first season. That kid who wears number 27, it's his first season. Yo, number 98, who's an unstoppable force, he's a baby. Jordan Davis, he's a baby. Nolan Smith, he's a baby. They're all babies. We're not going anywhere. This starts the next wave. No longer the dynasty killers. It's the dynasty. And people are looking at you to come chase you down. Fine. Bring it on. I like the pressure. I did an entire show on WIP, and I was reacting to national media audio. Stephen A. Smith on First Take thought there was way more pressure on the Eagles than there was on Kansas City. I don't disagree. Same applied with Mad Dog, Chris Russo. There's way more pressure on a team that lost 2 years ago, and it would be 2 straight losses to the Chiefs compared to a team going for their 3rd in a row. Most Kansas City fans would think, hey, you're going to have to lose eventually. We'll get back at it next time. While the Eagles, there would be way more criticism and way more controversy surrounding where do we go from here to get over the hump. Once again, I agree with that, and I like it. I like when there's pressure. I like when you have the target on your back. I like when you're supposed to be the team to get it done. That's what I prefer. I think that actually raises the bar internally. I think that actually it holds you accountable in a certain way. This wasn't house money for the Eagles. You have to win that game. You need to win Super Bowl 59. You can't afford to lose that game. Well, I want that attitude to be, it'll be different once the dynasty gets created here, but it's, you have to focus. You have to be prepared. You have to be dialed in on all the details because these teams are coming and they're swinging and they want it bad. And they're hungry. And you got to fight them off. It's that type of pressure. Bring it on. There's nobody else I'd rather have in charge than Jalen Hurts during a run like that. So I know that's sort of looking ahead here, but that's what I do. Now that I sort of established what this is all about, I see it now. Listen, this is what happens when you get used to this. We see Super Bowl appearances pretty frequently now. That's what it's about. I'm soaking it in. I'm appreciating the moment. But I want more. I'm not even satisfied. I'm already thinking about the next one. That's what the Tom Brady era does. That's what the Pat Mahomes era has done. I want a taste of that too. I'm satisfied, but I'm still hungry. If I'm just being honest, that's how I feel tonight. But it is pretty amazing. Jake Elliott, did you have any? No, yes. I think there was the one. It was the beginning of the, was it when they went up? I forgot the score. Hold on. I have it here in my notes. It was the first field goal they went for. They made it. Let me see. Tush push, 7-0. Sorry, there were so many points. Coop, 17. Yeah, okay. Here it is. It was 4th and 3. They went for the 48-yard field goal to make it 10-0. That might have been during one of the sequences where we thought it was a penalty on the Chiefs, and then they called it back on the Eagles. One of those for the field goals, I believe. But anyway, it was 4th and 3, and they ended up settling for 3 points to make it a 10-0 lead. I think there were some fans out there wondering if that would have been a good spot for Nick Sirianni to be very, very aggressive. And I remember in real time, I was watching at my buddy's place. A few of my friends were saying, I want to get the points. I want to get the points. I'd rather go up 10. And I said, you know what? I'm cool with either way. I understand kicking the points and going up 10-0 on this Chiefs team. At the same time, if you want to make a statement, if you want to be known as the aggressor, if you went into this with your game plan being, we are not going to give them any sort of life or any sort of chances by only kicking 3, and if we could get a chance to step on their throat and go for 7, we are going to apply an insane amount of pressure on them. I'm cool with that too. I think that's a winning philosophy as well. They elected to kick it, but Jake Elliott made his field goals. Jake Elliott made his extra points, and there was never really any worry. So credit to him, because that's been a monster problem all year long, and especially with some of these special teams plays. I was really thrilled with how Will Shipley is getting the ball forced on the ground, right? And I mentioned how the special teams, maybe it wasn't just about the missed field goals or the missed extra points, but they were making an impact on kickoff coverage, and they were making an impact in other areas that we can't forget about. How about Coop with a nice return? If Coop gets a punt return and brings it back a couple yards, one of those actually was a huge part of one of their drives. It was the drive where they scored their first touchdown. Saquon Barkley has the amazing blitz pickup on the Dotson play that gets down to the 1-yard line. They eventually have a tush-push 7-0, but that second drive started with a nice little punt return for Cooper DeJean. That stuff isn't going to pop out, all right? There's been a lot of other stuff that's been super highlighted in that game, but those areas of the game matter, and we saw it, and it was so big. It was so big. The amount of times, though, I'm looking down, 3rd and 3, 3 and out, 3 and out. They pick up 1 first down, then the Chiefs go 3 and out. DeAndre Hopkins is falling all over the place. He's tripping over his own feet, dropping a pass where there's no defender in sight. I don't even think the closest defender was within 12 yards of him. He's just falling completely on his face. And then they show Chris Jones on the sidelines falling over in disbelief, and his head is hitting the ground. He couldn't believe it. That's sort of when I knew. And by no means am I ever going to say that, it just wasn't their night. That's an example of it just not being the Chiefs' night. No. The reason why it wasn't the Chiefs' night is because this defense is the best defense in the league. Right? It's not, the Commanders shot themselves in the foot and turned the football over too much. No. Zach Bond punched it out. Jalen Carter wrecks the game. Zach Bond is a monster. Cooper DeJean wrapping guys up. No. You didn't shoot yourself in the foot. We're better than you. It's the same thing. I don't want to hear for a second, you could just tell it wasn't the Chiefs' night. Because did you see how that defensive line attacked? Did you see how they were able to get into Pat Mahomes' face every single second, every single down, every single series, every single snap without sending a blitz? That's deadly. That's unbeatable. That was forced. That piss-poor offensive play by the Chiefs, that was forced. Andy Reid got pantsed, bro. Andy Reid literally got outcoached by $1 billion. Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio, Spags. I mean, this was coaching dominance. This was coaching excellence. That might have been the best coaching performance I've seen from this group. And that's saying a lot. Think about the last time this team lost a football game. The last time this team lost a game was because Jalen got concussed and was knocked out 11 snaps in. And then they got thrown into Kenny Pickett. And they still should have won that game. Other than that, we're talking bye week stuff. When they still had no identity on who they were. They barely even had a team meeting yet on how they were going to be known as a run-heavy team. They were still trying to figure it out from no preseason, right? No run for any of the starters. And by the way, the head coach didn't know what his CEO role was yet. That's the last time they legitimately lost, when they didn't have a quarterback, their starting quarterback, I should say. This team is unbeatable. This team is just deadly. And a big part of that is Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. You hear Landon Dickerson after the game, how much they do for this coach, how much they're willing to fight for this coach, how much they're willing to do anything on that football field for this coach. And then Jalen, too, this dynamic of these two, It is remarkable. What else is remarkable? My friends over at HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. So skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. A crazy schedule can make it easy to fall back into your dinner time recipe rut. So keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every week. So there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. HelloFresh does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive right at your doorstep, pre-portioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. How easy is that? Go to HelloFresh.com/50broads and use code 50broads for 50% off plus free shipping. That's code 50broads for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. This is the best night of my life. Best night of my life. I was chilling. Had my feet up. Listened to a little bit of Kendrick. Serena Williams is out there. Did you see what Serena was out there doing? Kendrick had Serena Williams doing that with Drake watching. I love the halftime show. I understand that not everybody necessarily loves hip hop. And I could see some of the reaction was because some people didn't understand the genre or like the genre. I loved it. And I could enjoy it knowing the lead was what the lead was. It was kind of bizarre because I was so set up for a sweaty game. I gave the Chiefs too much respect. I thought the Eagles would win. I thought the Eagles would win 28-24. I thought this thing would be a competition. I thought this would at least be, hey, you know, we're going to earn it. We're going to earn it. We're going to get respect. We're going to earn it. And we're going to outcompete them. But it would be a football game. That was a weird feeling. I had my feet up, relaxing, listening to Kendrick. I mean, whew. Had some garage beers. Drink garage beer. 0% IPA. 100% light beer, 1,000% quality. DrinkGarageBeer.com, best beer out there. There wasn't one other beer that was going to touch my lips on a day that the Eagles win the Super Bowl. And when we party, and then we party again the next day, and we party again the next day, and we party again on Thursday, and we party again on Friday. It's all garage beer. What a world. All right, so I know the Anytime Hotline is buzzing. I see it all right now. I'm going to hold off and apply some of that to the week, okay? Because we're not going anywhere. We're going to be talking a lot about this, but I just wanted to get sort of my instant thoughts myself on what transpired, and then we'll do a lot of reacting to your calls, the excitement, and obviously, I mean, seriously, this is going to be one hell of a couple week stretch here of Eagles talk. We're not going anywhere. So I just want to say thank you guys all so much. I love you. You know that. It's been a beautiful season. I always had faith in this team once they sort of showed me who they were. Once they showed me their greatness. Once I realized, there's something different about this team. They're very unique. And once they put it all together, you can't criticize them the way that we were right before the bye week or even right after that bye week a little bit when we were still in that unknown territory. I think there was reasonable questions asked at a particular time this season. But once they proved to you that we got a unit that is rare, once they prove to you that we can win 10 in a row, and then the only time we lose is if we lose our starting quarterback, and then, by the way, we could even win games when we have to go to Kenny Pickett or Tanner McKee, and then you have the entire team buy into someone like Saquon Barkley not going for an all-time record, and that's not easy. That's not easy for a team to respect the coach's decision. They may follow his decision because, well, ultimately he gets to make the choice, but to actually believe in the long-term plan and to have everybody buy in and to have the relationship and the bond to sell a certain image. Hey, I know it hurts. I know it's rare to have a record the way that this season's playing out for you, Saquon, but we can't have you go out there week 18. It's not worth it. When we hold that Lombardi trophy, remember this conversation. And when you go out there and dominate in the playoffs, remember what this is all for, all right? Week 18, it won't matter because because you're going to be wearing a t-shirt that says Super Bowl champions. You're going to be wearing a hat, and you're going to be hanging out with your family and your daughters, and you're going to show them that bling, that ring that has a billion different diamonds on it. And when they get older, 11, 12, 13, they're going to say, Daddy, Daddy, let me see the ring. You're going to open it up. They're going to be in awe. It's all about that. Don't worry about week 18. I know it's tough in the moment, but think ahead. Think about February. Think about that weekend, that Sunday, when we get to hoist the Lombardi. I promise you, listen to me, I promise you, when you're selling that to him, it's not easy. There's a lot to be said about being the all-time rushing leader. Some of the offensive linemen did not like it, and they were vocal about it, but they respected Sirianni, and the only way you have that trust and you have that commitment and you have that faith in that room is if you have a special bond. Nick Sirianni created that, and then they all pulled together in the same direction on the rope, and now here they are, probably laughing, drinking beers, going, yo, week 18. Probably what they're doing. And then they're throwing on broads. Thank you guys all so much. I love you. You know that. Super Bowl champions. Super Bowl 59 champions. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. They won the Super Bowl. The second one I've seen. That's 2 now. That would be 2 Super Bowls. Wow. Go Birds.